Good evening, my fellow Toastmasters. My name is Ray Melendez. I will serve you today live from Wellington as your Sergeant at Arms. This is our, once again, this is our first live meeting. So one of the things I want to ask everybody is to, even though a number of us are online, do our best anyway to avoid any distractions, including myself. So mute your phones and keep yourself muted while you're not speaking. Let's continue with the Pledge of Allegiance. Flag here, let's see. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now I will pass the mic over to our Vice President of Education, Shay Greaves, and I keep seeing you over here, so that's why I keep turning.
Hello and welcome everyone to Wellington Toastmasters. It's always lovely to see your faces. I would like to now dive into our mission statement. The objective of Toastmasters is to provide an educative and supportive.
It's 7 o'clock.
Positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence. Who's here for greater self-confidence? Who's here for greater communication skills? And of course, leadership skills. We're all here for that. Thumbs up. And tonight, it's a pleasure to have you all here. I have the honor to serve as your VP of Education and to bring you in absence of our president, Shastri Stewart, who should be arriving. If not, you'll be able to catch him at our next meeting. I'd like to welcome all guests. There are no guests, and recognize our previous president, former President Stacy Kessler. And now I'd like to hand over our meeting to our Toastmaster of the day, Sonia Harate.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shay, for stepping into the role of president for tonight, and welcome all to our hybrid meeting tonight. The theme of today's meeting is Cheers to Motherhood in all of its wonderful variety. So I hope you all experienced a wonderful weekend celebrating Mother's Day in the way that worked for you and your family. And also to recognize that motherhood is not simply a woman who actually has children. It could be an aunt, it could be a sister, it could be anybody who performs the work of mothering. So as Toastmaster of the day, I serve as your Master of Ceremonies. And tonight we have 2 speakers. And also, guys, try and use the chat to leave supportive comments for our speakers tonight and also for our functionaries, especially as we're doing the hybrid. Let those who are on site know what works, what doesn't work, what you see, and what you don't see as they are speaking. Throughout the meeting, our members have the opportunity to practice their listening, critical thinking, and management skills by serving in various roles. I'm going to skip over the first couple until they show up, and I'll just call as I see them present. So Toastmaster Jack Miller, could you please explain your role as grammarian tonight? So we see you on the screen, Jack, but I don't hear you as yet.
This hybrid's not too hybrid for me. Here we go. Grammarian. One of the benefits of Toastmasters is that it helps people improve their grammar and word use. Being grammarian provides an exercise in expanding listening skills. I have several responsibilities to introduce new words to members, to comment on the language used during the course of the meeting, and to provide examples of eloquence. The word of the day today is magnanimous. Magnanimous is an adjective. It means highly moral, especially in showing kindness or forgiveness, as in overlooking insults or not seeking revenge. Used in a sentence, the magnanimous response of mother's love for her children is a testament to God's love for us all. I'm complete.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jack Miller. And thank you also for putting the name, for using your word of the day in your name slot at the bottom there. Thank you. Toastmaster Julie Graves, could you please explain your role as general timer tonight? You're on mute, Julie.
Toastmaster of the day. I am responsible for monitoring time for each part of the meeting. I operate the timing signal to indicate speech length. Timing begins with the first definite or verbal or nonverbal communication with the audience. As general timer, whomever is speaking and has control of the meeting, please pay attention to the red color behind me, as it means you get to wrap up where you are as quickly and professionally and efficiently as possible. Thank you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Julie Graves. Toastmaster Gary Nooper, please explain your role as General Evaluator this evening.
Toastmaster of the day. If one thinks of the club as a project, then think of the General Evaluator as a quality control manager. I will be commenting on the overall flow of today's meeting and giving feedback. Thank you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gary Nooper. Toastmaster Mayanna Hammonds, please explain your role as counter.
Toastmaster of the day, the purpose of the counter is to note any word, sound, or filler used as a crutch by anyone who's speaking during the meeting. Examples of word fillers are so, you know, like, right, and well. Tonight, I will be paying close attention to the words used inappropriately. If I hear disfluencies, I will shine a light like this to inform you of your inappropriate interjection. Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mayanna Hammonds. Toastmaster Stacy Kessler, could you please explain your role as Table Topics Master?
Yes, it would be my honor. This evening, our table topics will be all about our extemporaneous speaking skills. Be prepared to dive in this evening because you never know who's going to call upon you. Even if you have a role tonight, we are a very intimate group this evening, so be prepared. And we have 2 speakers this evening, so table topics is a little bit longer than usual. Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Stacy Kessler. And as I have done before, and it seems is my habit, I have skipped over the invocation and will now circle back to that portion. And Toastmaster Shay Greaves, could you please provide us the invocation for this evening?
Yes, Toastmaster of the day. I found this beautiful quote. Moms hold their children's hand for a while, but their hearts forever. Unknown.
Beautiful. Thank you, Toastmaster Shay. And now moving on to the first section of our meeting, which is the formal speeches. As we have noted, we have 2 speakers this evening. Toastmaster Justin Gwynn, could you please provide us with the project information for our first speaker?
Yes, of course. The project focuses on how to promote awareness of an organization, formulate a public relations strategy, and use various PR tactics. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice the skills needed to effectively use public relations strategies for any group or situation. Micheline's speech will be 5 to 7 minutes. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Justin. Timer, could you please demonstrate the timing signals for this project and also for our second speaker, as they have the same timing requirements?
Yes, Toastmaster of the Day. Please, Toastmaster of the Day, I'll display the green card at 5 minutes, the yellow card at 6 minutes, and the red card will be displayed at 6.5 minutes.
At 7 minutes, actually.
At 7 minutes.
Mhm.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Julie Graves. And her project title tonight, her speech title is Ganemy. Micheline will be sharing with us new resources to promote Wellington Toastmasters Club. Please welcome Toastmaster Micheline.
Please unmute.
Okay. Good evening, Toastmasters. Are you seeing my screen? Awesome. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. We do not have any guests. I will be talking about sharing public relations strategies with you this evening. And this is one of the things that we need to focus on as a group, as a club. Each and every one of us has a responsibility to share the club and promote the club. Public relations. I got this statement off of the Toastmasters International website, and I think it's so powerful. Good public relations is the practice of creating, promoting, and maintaining a favorable image of an institution among its audiences through the use of a variety of communication channels and tools. I'm going to talk about the how, when, who, and what. Public relations strategy to promote our club. I must say you will see the box in the middle is the club. Like I mentioned before, each of us have a responsibility to promote the club in every way that we can possibly do. But first, we have to have a plan. And I did some research. Public relations is not one of my strong suits. So I did some research and see what public relations strategies other companies are doing and other clubs are using. But first, let me describe what the plan is. The plan is 3 steps in a plan. First, we have to evaluate the feedback from our guests and our members. The last time we met at our Moments of Truth, and we had some good takeaways. What is working and what is not working? Our Moments of Truth from that, we heard that it's important for us to increase the headcount of our membership population and to promote membership programs to others. The second step of the plan is inventory. Take inventory of what we have and the resources we have and how we're using it. Toastmasters International has a slew of resources that we can be using, we can be leveraging. We do not have to reinvent the wheel, or we can go back to the basics. The third step of our plan is having a strong mission statement. We didn't hear the mission statement this evening, but every week we usually hear that mission statement as a reminder why we meet every Monday and what Toastmasters stand for. So I'm going to read the mission statement for us this evening. The mission statement is, the mission of Toastmasters Club is to provide a mutually supportive and positive learning experience in which every member has the opportunity to develop communication and leadership skills, which in turn fosters, that is big, that's big for us, self-confidence and personal growth. So we are all here, as we kick off what Shay was talking about, personal growth. We're all here for something like that. We want confidence, we want leadership skills. The second box to the right is create. What are we going to do to create? Well, we have to be relevant, but we also think of ways of thinking outside of the box. We have to look at our competitors, look at what other small businesses are doing, and create something like that. Maybe we can advertise on Google or Facebook, but then that's an investment. I think as a small group, we do not need to invest in such a large advertisement. But let's think about the small way. One of this as an example came up at the Moments of Truth. Let's go back to the basic. And I talk, and this is more like, I would consider this postcards and business cards as old school format, but the cheap version. I think that's what's going to work for us. So let's think about simple flyers. The next is coordinate. Let's collaborate with local businesses or businesses that's small businesses that's growing and looking for strong leaderships, and communities. Activity centers. Let's try to market there. And the final step is communicate. How are we going to communicate? Despite the dominance of social media, I believe what I'm going to project to you or display or debut today will help us get our word out on how we can promote our club. So I gave my son community service credit for helping me to provide, display, or create this flyer. Most of it came from Toastmasters International, but he was able to create the QR code at the bottom where it's going to scan to our homepage and our Facebook and our YouTube. We created this flyer about 4 weeks ago. I didn't get to promote it or give my speech earlier. We went back this weekend and we found out that the QR code is deactivated. I guess it's a trial run. So I have to now propose to our leadership and see if they're willing to pay for the QR code. There is an annual fee, and I think it can be worthwhile if we invest in that. The second is a business card. Justin displayed one of his business card that he had from the church, and I think this will be effective. The member contact is left blank, and whoever is sharing out that this business card can write in their phone number and their name. So I thank you all for listening to my speech and showing how we can promote our group. And I hope that you feel that that is something that will be effective.
Thank you, Toastmaster Micheline. Public relations, something that we are constantly working on. And thank you for all of your ideas and the wonderful flyer that you have made for us tonight. For our next speaker, Toastmaster Connie Andrews, could you please provide us with the project information?
Absolutely, Toastmaster Sonia. Effective body language. The purpose of this project, the purpose of this magnanimous project is to deliver a magnanimous speech with awareness of intentional and unintentional body language, as well as to learn, practice, and refine how our Toastmaster will use nonverbal communication while delivering her magnanimous speech this evening. The speech title is Aha Moments, and it is 5 to 7 minutes. Our Toastmaster has asked me to look at her speech as if it was a social media post, and she's looking for feedback to make her appearance more engaging and exciting, as well as magnanimous.
Thank you,
Back to
Connie.
you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Connie. And so for our second speaker, the speech title is Aha Moments. And Shay will be sharing some simple words that have helped transform her life. Please welcome Toastmaster Shay.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sonia. Hello out there. Are you paying attention? Good. Now that I have your attention, there are 3 quotes that I'd like to share with you that have transformed my life in impactful ways. Number 1, what you appreciate appreciates. Very simple, but powerful. What you appreciate appreciates. What you value grows. Just think about it. In your family and loving relationships and your work environment, what you value, what you focus on, what you invest in grows. And also on the flip side, if it's a negative thought or a negative emotion or a negative memory, that grows. Time for a metaphor. Say you have a lovely garden and you want beautiful, delicious herbs, or you want beautiful flowers, or you want beautiful vegetables, yummy vegetables. Guess what? If you invest time, if you nurture the soil, if you nurture the plants, they grow. And equally, if it's not doing well, you get to catch it enough time to help course correct it. Number 2, in the area of trust, you are either gaining or losing trust. There's no middle, gaining or losing. I think the 2 go hand in hand. So in a relationship, if you are working towards building trust, the intentionality, the time that you spend, the words that you choose, you are building trust. But in the same vein, if you neglect to spend time, if you neglect to be intentional, if you neglect to invest, then you lose trust. Very simple, but again, very impactful. Lastly, adults ask for what they need. Now, this was also a very simple quote, but very complex in the same vein. And this is my best effort to express what it means. One year, I spent a year where my mentor, she was mentoring 20 of us. And every time she made a point, made a presentation, she would end, adults ask for what they need, one-on-one feedback. Adults ask for what they need. I mulled on this, asking adults ask for what they need. My interpretation or understanding is that adults, we get the opportunity to walk in empowerment over our lives. That means the questions that we ask, that means the conversations that we initiate, that means the actions that we engage in, or the things that we don't say or that we don't do. That affects our lives, and we as adults get to influence. No more victim, no more looking to our environment to give us what we need. We get the opportunity to sit back, figure out where we are, where we want to be, and engage. Adults ask for what they need. So I encourage you to take these 3 quotes, because in different stages and in different phases of your life, they come to mean so many different things. And I believe as you apply them, you'll begin to see just what I mean. So take a closer look. Take a closer look. Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shay. Lovely quotes that you shared with us today. And I love the power of adults ask for what they need. I'm going to be thinking about that this week and seeing if I can ask for what I need as well. Toastmaster Julie Graves, could you please provide us a brief timers report?
Yes. Toastmaster Sonia, both speakers were within the range closely, but they were both just there.
Wonderful. Thank you, Toastmaster Julie. They made it.
Close.
And at this time, would we like to do our voting, or should we do that? Yes? All right. Please look out for the poll. Last couple of seconds, and that should be wrapped up. Okay, moving on to the second section of our meeting, table topics, which is an opportunity for members to develop their extemporaneous speaking skills, basically impromptu speaking. So before I start, we have no guests, and as our topics master has stated, get prepared. Any and everybody can be called on. Please welcome Toastmaster Stacy Kessler as our table topics master.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. And our Toastmaster of the day is doing a magnanimous job this evening. Let's give her a round of applause. It is always an interesting place to be the master of the evening. And I'm going to just ask each one of you, especially you, Mr. Ray, all the way over there, to see if you could come close to the camera as we are playing with this hybrid mode. So you may stand and come close to the camera so we could see you if you get chosen to speak. I'll tell you when you're in a good space. Oh, get back up, please. One more moment. Mr. Ray, can you hear me? Let's see. Can you test the sound, Ray?
I can test the sound.
Beautiful. Excellent. We can hear. Everybody hear Ray? Great. Okay, now you could sit down, Ray. Julie, can you tell us how many minutes we have for time to do table topics?
Yes. And I apologize. I'm a little bit off kilter.
You're doing great, Julie.
Thank you. I appreciate that because it means a lot to him. So we have 12 minutes for table topics.
12 minutes for table topics. Okay, everybody prepared. I'm going to ask each one of you right now to close your eyes and begin to connect with your breath as you close your eyes. Connect with your breath. My invitation to you is to connect with your inner child and see your little boy and your little girl in front of you. Connect with your breath. See your little girl in front of you, in front of your eyes. See her. And then see your little boy in front of your eyes. And you are going to write a letter to your mommy as a little boy. And I am going to ask you, Gary Nooper, to share with us what would be in that letter as a little boy. You're writing a little boy letter to your mommy, bringing back all of what you are so grateful for the magnanimous mother that she is.
Dear Mom, this is such a special day for you as we celebrate Mother's Day, and I'm so happy that I get to share how much you mean to me. You take such good care of me and my little brother and my little sister. We love having play dates with you, and we love just sitting under the tree, reading books about all the fantasies and all the animated characters that we get to see on TV. We love how we just sit outside waiting for you to come and bring us some snacks and then enjoy them with us. We love how you make us run around the yard and do all sorts of weird and wonderful activities that you've discovered in these books on parenting. We are just so grateful to have you taking care of us and to have you as our mother. And hopefully one day when we grow up, you'll be able to take just as much care of our children. We love and appreciate you, Mom. Happy Mother's Day.
Toastmaster Gary Nooper, what a precious little boy you brought out tonight for us to see your authentic self. Toastmaster, close your eyes. You don't know if I'm going to call on you now. See that little boy or that little girl in front of your eyes. Connect with your breath. Connect with your little boy. Connect with your little girl and breathe. as you, Toastmaster Jack Miller, get to write a letter to your mother from your little boy. It's Mother's Day. You're in kindergarten. What is on that little sheet of paper that says, "My mother has blank color eyes. My mother is wonderful at"? Toastmaster Jack Miller.
Madam Topics Master, a letter to my mother. I don't know how I'll deliver it because she's been gone for several years now. But if I were to write it again, I would have to say, Mom, you did such a wonderful job in spite of the way I turned out. You were so loving, taking care of 5 kids, of which I got to babysit most of the time because I was the eldest of 5 with a working mother. And I've just always appreciated how hard you worked and everything you put into raising us, especially some of the little things. I remember the first time you took me for a date and I said, honk the horn. And she said, no way, you go up and knock on that door. And made me realize in little things like if you're walking with a woman down the street, keep her away from the street. You walk on the street side, keep her on the other side. And the little things she did to really help me appreciate life and appreciate women, most particularly. And so I never really got along with my father well, but I loved my mother so much and still do. Can't wait till I see her again in paradise. And I know that time won't be long because life is so short and so beautiful. So if you haven't said I love you to your mother recently, get on out there. I guess she has said hi to her mother because she's up there with her now. But mothers are so special. And I'm going to read my little quote about magnanimous. Again, the magnanimous response of a mother's love for her children is a testament to God's love for us all. And I just think that says so much about what mothers are and what God is to us all. Nothing but love. Thank you.
Toastmaster Jack Miller, thank you. Thank you for those beautiful words of wisdom, sharing that we all get to just love up on our mothers. Everybody connect with your little boy and your little girl. Close your eyes. You don't know if you're next. Close your eyes and see your little boy, see your little girl. Connect with that inner child that is within all of us. And the special Toastmaster that's next is going to write a letter to your mother as though you were that little boy. As you're writing this letter, what would you say to your mother on this piece of paper? This is a direct letter to your mother. Toastmaster Mark Alexander.
Dear Mom, thank you so much for all of the great, magnanimous attributes that you instilled in my life. My humor, my care and loving for humans, dedication and commitment. Mom, you were always there when I needed you most. I appreciate all the warm, nurturing dinners you made, teaching me the appreciation of cooking. I appreciate the level of love that you had for making people laugh. It always brought a warm and fuzzy feeling to my stomach. enjoyed that immensely. Mom, thank you for working as hard as you did to provide for our family, knowing that times were tough, but you kept on going. Again, instilling commitment, dedication, and reliability in our lives. Mom, I love you for the way that when you were happy, you were very huggable. And you would instill the understanding of touch and love in myself and my sister. Dear Mom, forever will be in my heart and showing up in my space always. Love you. Thank you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mark Alexander Kessler. You are 7 years old. What is your favorite memory that happened between the age of 5 and 7 years old? Connect with your breath, connect with your inner child. You are 7 years old. What memory do you have of you and your magnanimous mother when you were 7 years old? Toastmaster Julie.
7 years old, my mother and I, she was just amazing. I was on her hip all the time, and my favorite thing to do with her beyond sewing was cooking. And so we would get together in the kitchen and fix up a batch of my favorite peanut butter cookies and just have an afternoon at it. So I'm considerably younger than my older siblings. They would be out and about in the neighborhood doing what they do, and I would stay right there on my mother's hip. And she taught me so much about cooking and homemaking, and I really appreciated the times that I had with her. So she's very special to me. I know she still lives very strongly in my heart and in my head, and I have regular conversations with her on the regular, even though she's not walking on the earth with me every day. Thank you, Toastmaster Stacy.
Toastmaster Julie, thank you for sharing your heart. I believe we have time for one more table topics, as though we will not have a third evaluator this evening. You are the timer, Miss Julie. Can you double check me on that?
No, you're good. I didn't think about that. Correct.
Perfect. All right, everyone, take in a really deep breath through your nose. Deep breath in through your nose. And exhale through your mouth. In through your nose. And out through your mouth. Your wife is the mother of your children. What spectacular and magnanimous things make her stand out? Your wife is the mother of your children. What magnanimous things have her stand out? Toastmaster Justin Quinn. Do, 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 do.
My wife is absolutely amazing. She just has the best approach toward the kids that you can possibly imagine. She does everything that she can possibly do for them at all times. And they unfortunately just don't appreciate it. But we try to make them sure that what she does is appreciated. She's always going to no end to take them to practice or to take them to the playground or to make sure that they're having fun, take them here, there, or the other. And she generally always puts them first. If they want something special to eat, she'll make it. If they want something, toy, she'll go get it platform or find a way to get it without me knowing. But always puts those kids first, and she's absolutely amazing in everything she does. But certainly when it comes to being a mom, she's fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Justin Gwen. At this time, we will conclude the table topics portion of our meeting. And this evening, if we are ready to run the polls, we can do so. Is everyone ready to vote for your...
Point of order there, Toastmaster Stacy, could we have a brief timers report about our table topic speakers?
Miss Julie Graves, could you give us the report on time?
Toastmaster of the day, Sonia, all table topic speakers were within the time period. Thank you.
Perfect. All right, let's see if I... And we're going to vote for table topics. Gotta go over here. Polling. Punch. Do 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 do. Do you see it? Do 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 do. Do 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 do. 5, 4, 3, 2. Is everyone's voting? And 1. We will end the poll. And Toastmaster of the Day, you're on. The magnanimous Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Sonia Garate.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Stacey Kessler, for a very interesting table topics. That song you were playing is near and dear to my heart, as I've been hearing that for quite a while. So thank you for that. The third section of our meeting is evaluations, the gift of instant feedback and a key success of our Toastmasters program. As our general evaluator tonight, please welcome Toastmaster Gary Nooper.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Timer, please demonstrate the timing signals for speech evaluations.
Timer? The green card will be, I apologize. I'm ready. I was in the wrong mindset. For the evaluators, I got confused. Okay. General evaluator, I'll display the green card at 2 minutes, the yellow card at 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and I'll display the red card at 3 minutes. I will clap the speaker off at 3 minutes and 31 seconds. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Julie. Moving on to our third and very special part of a Toastmasters meeting, our evaluations. Our first evaluator this evening is Toastmaster Justin, providing the speech evaluation for Toastmaster Micheline.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Toastmaster Micheline. First of all, thank you so much for all your efforts and everything you do and your dedication to your role as an officer and your efforts in what you're doing for the club. I speak on behalf of for everybody, and we greatly appreciate you putting together this plan and to help us grow and share how awesome our club is. And despite you indicating that you had to do research on PR, typically when you have to do research for a speech, sometimes you can come off as not as comfortable, but you came off as clearly very comfortable, well within your wheelhouse of speaking on this particular topic. I think you kept great eye contact, and that's also very important to do to engage your audience, to keep the audience involved, especially when you have slides. Oftentimes those slides can take away from the speaker, and you want to keep that focus on them. And when you're keeping your eye contact on the audience as opposed to maybe on your slides, that helps the audience also focus on you as well. So I think you did a great job there. And I do love the use of the slides as well. I always love when I see visuals in a speech within our group. We don't often see that, so I do love the visuals as well. A couple things maybe to work on. I think in terms of your introduction, I felt that could have been a lot stronger. I mean, you got a group here that's dedicated. We want to do this. We want to be excited about this. And I think you could have gotten us a bit more excited, a bit motivated to say, hey, this is what we're going to do. Get excited about it. Get us a call to action and get people going about our love for the club. Also, the gestures as well. We couldn't really see any gestures and vocal variety. I thought that you could have had some more emotion and more vocal variety within this, and try to engage and get us excited and bring a call to action. The conclusion as well, I think the timing started to come to an end, and you kind of had to rush through that as well. So I thought that could have been a bit stronger as well, end up on a high note. And one thing you asked me to focus on was your clarity and ease to follow the steps. And you kind of lost me on the visual, because you were showing the visual which said plan, create, coordinate, and communicate, and then you started off with, okay, the first step in the plan is to evaluate. Well, I didn't see that on the screen, so what you were saying didn't match up really with what we were seeing on the slide. And having step one be evaluate, you have to do multiple other steps before you actually get to evaluate. So evaluate probably maybe not was the most appropriate as the first step. The mission statement was your third step, and maybe that could have been the first step. So the organization I thought could have been slightly different. But certainly, I don't know about anybody else, but I love the flyer. I love the scan idea. I love the cards. And not just because, and thanks for the shout out as well. But I think we're all excited about that. I think we want to get out there and promote. I certainly do. So great job. And thank you for sharing. And thank you again for your efforts in this.
Thank you, Toastmaster Justin. I appreciate your evaluation and some good feedback for the speaker as well. Our next evaluation is Toastmaster Connie doing a speech evaluation for Toastmaster Shay. Let's welcome Toastmaster Connie.
Thank you, and good evening, everybody. Shay, you have magnanimously improved in your delivery of your speech, especially this evening. I just see a growth in you every time that you get on in front of the camera, and I can see that you're super, super comfortable. I cannot wait to see you live, to see the whole rest of your body. I love your presentation, like your headdress, and your glasses, and just the whole look was awesome tonight, along with your beautiful smile. I loved your sentences, your special phrases. Adults ask for what they need. It was short and sweet and simple and easy to remember. And also what appreciates. That kind of like, what? And then I got it. So you definitely kept me entertained with that. I felt that you were clear, you excelled at your communication with your spoken word, your vocal variety. I did notice that this evening. You're very good at that, using tone and different volumes in your speech as tools to deliver. Eye contact was great. Sometimes I see the glare in your glasses, but today you were really, really making a point of looking into the camera, which I noticed that. you had your comfort level. You were fully at ease with your audience. And I could tell that the audience was engaged too by their body language, because everybody was kind of looking into the camera instead of like, you know, just sitting back and relaxing. You may want to work on this speech. So the title of your speech was Aha Moments. And I get it, but I would have loved it if you had referenced the aha moment every time there was an aha moment as you gave your speech. I think it just would have brought it together a little better. Start with aha moment and definitely end with the aha moment for the evening. So maybe repeating the statements 1 or 2 times would be great. I missed your third one. I missed your third statement. So I don't know if I left for a minute and then came back, but I didn't remember what the third one was, but the 2 were pretty powerful. I felt that, let's see, you had asked for feedback on appearance and more engaging and exciting for your future media posts. And I think that, yes, I think that definitely it was engaging, and that you will improve, and man, go for podcast instead of media post. I think you can do it. So back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Connie. Really appreciate your feedback for Toastmaster Shay. Timer, can we please get a timer's report for the speech evaluations?
Yes. Yes, one was over, so out of the time period. I'm so sorry, I don't know the verbiage, but yes. So of the 2 speakers, one was over time.
Thank you, Toastmaster Julie. If you wouldn't mind sending Toastmaster Stacy a message so that she knows by default who the winning speech evaluator for this evening is. Our next section will be some feedback on the meeting. So just a reminder for the Grammarian and the R counter to please have your reports ready. Toastmaster Jack, are you ready with your Grammarian report? You can do it there if you want. Sure. Toastmaster Jack, please provide us with your Grammarian's report for this evening.
You're on mute, Jack. We don't hear you.
There we go. Now I'm on. The word magnanimous was used 13 times. There were a few notable phrases in there. We started out with plan, communicate, coordinate, and wait. Communicate, coordinate, and there was a third C in there, and I missed it here. There were a couple of things. Word came up, I thank you all. Could have been more, I appreciate your taking time to listen. Then there was a word that came up, adults ask for what they need. And that was reiterated several times, which is always a very valuable thing in a speech to really drive the message home when a thing is said several times. Another phrase that was used that I really like was different stages and different phases. And that's really true in all of our life. We go through stages and phases, and that was really brought forward. Another time, we love and appreciate you, Mom. Well, I think that all came through in all of the talks, but it came out and was said for all of us. So I really appreciated that. And another phrase that I really liked was well within your wheelhouse. I thought that was kind of powerful, just to put us where we need to be, that being in your wheelhouse is an old boating term, and that's the person in control of the ship. So with that, I'm complete.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jack. Toastmaster Mayana, please provide us with your R-counters report.
General Evaluator, the total number of fillers used by the club today is 7. The most fillers used by a member was 4. The most commonly used filler word today is used 5 times today. The following Toastmasters did not use any filler words during the meeting: Shay, Micheline, Sonia, Justin, Jack, Gary, Ray, Mark. That concludes my counter report. General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mayana. Now for my evaluation of tonight's meeting. The meeting started a few minutes late, but I guess that can be expected with us working on a hybrid approach and working on some technical issues and getting those resolved. So look forward to making that a smoother transition going forward. There were no guests this evening and there were no dignitaries. The Toastmaster of the day did a really great job in leading the meeting this evening. She led us all in applause. The meeting roles were explained and the transitions between the speeches was very smooth and demonstrated that Toastmaster Sonia was paying attention. There were speech introductions and project details for the 2 speakers this evening. The meeting looks like it'll end on time tonight. Table topics. I think Toastmaster Stacy did a really good job with the table topics this evening. Was surprised to be called on first, but happy to participate. So it's always a good practice. And the use of technology and the theme for table topics this evening was really great and matched up with the theme of the meeting and with Mother's Day. So Stacy, you did a fantastic job with that. And as we've been experiencing over the last few weeks, table topics has really gotten very creative, and it was nice to be able to fill the meeting in with that this evening. Members were called on in the appropriate order. The topics were stated first and then the participants were called on. Our speech evaluators this evening both did a really good job on providing feedback to the speakers, giving them some things that went well, some areas for improvement, and ending on a positive note. So thank you, Toastmaster Justin and Toastmaster Connie, for that. The auxiliary roles for the timer, the grammarian, and the R-counter all did a really good job this evening. Just want to remind people maybe to be aware of the flow of your scripts, just how it fits into play during the meeting so that you're not caught off guard. But I know that comes with some more experience and practice. So we look forward to continuing our experience with the different roles. This concludes the General Evaluator report for this evening. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Gary Nieper, for your thorough evaluation. And at this time, Toastmaster Stacy Kessler will present our awards for Best Speaker, Best Table Topics, and Best Evaluator. Toastmaster Stacy Kessler.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sonia Garate. Let's make this fun in our announcements this evening. Get out your inner child. Unmute your microphones. Everyone, unmute your microphones, please. And if you were the winner of the formal speaker and you were that little child, how would you be behaving, Miss Julie?
Woo!
And Mr. Ray?
Yahoo!
And Miss Connie? Connie, how would you be behaving as your little girl?
Yippee! Yippee! Ah!
And how about you, Mayana? What would your How about you, Justin? What would your little boy be doing if you were the winner?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. Little guy. How about you, Mish? Like, how about you, Sonia?
It's me.
It's perfect. And how about you, Shay Graves? How would
Who, me? Really?
How about you, Marky?
Yay.
Hey. And Shay, could you show us that again?
Who, me? Really?
Shay! Everybody give Shay a round of applause. Round of applause for Shay. Shay is the first place winner this evening. Woohoo! All right, that was formal speaker. And for table topics, everybody beat your drums. How would you beat your drums, guys? Beat your drums. And Gary Nooper, if you were the winner of the table topics and you came in first place, what would your behavior look like as a little boy? Woo! Let's give it up for Toastmaster Gary Nooper. He's that little boy who just got his first place banner. Woo! You got your gold stars today, kids. Great job. And to be quite honest with you, I was a bit perplexed on the evaluation portion. We were not voting on Evaluator because someone went over. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Toastmaster Jules?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So,
I'm on.
okay. The person that went over, then, just so I'm clear, could you clarify, was it?
Oh, me? It's not me.
It was Connie.
No.
Yes, yes, it was you.
We will allow that first place prize to go to our
Justin.
What? What did you
Justin.
say? Yes, to Justin. Yes. So
Like-
Justin, what does it seem? What does it feel like? Show us your little boy. Come on, show us. You won.
Kind of like a Kentucky Derby. I feel like Connie won, but it got stolen from her. You know. It's okay.
That was not an unworthy conversation that just happened in front of this whole Toastmasters group, was it, Justin, Gwen? You are worthy. You are the winner. Woohoo! You came in first prize. There's always a winner in every group, and we're all winners. And I am complete with the polls of the evening. Back to you, table topics, or Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Stacy, for presenting our winners. As children, that was beautiful. It's always good to go back in time a bit. And so thank you all for being here tonight and for being involved in our hybrid meeting. And at this time, I will turn it back to our Vice President of Education, Shay, for any announcements this evening. Toastmaster Shay.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Let's give our Toastmaster, Sonia Harate, a round of applause. Yes, you. Thank you so much for stepping in and for leading us so fluidly for these past 2 weeks. I also want to give a shout out to our executive team and our tech team over there, Ray, Gary, and Jack for being there and getting our hybrid situation ready. So I just want to give them a round of applause as well. I thought that was, even though it was a couple minutes, I thought that was still a very smooth transition. So we did excellent. And thank you guys for having for such a wonderful meeting. And there are no additional announcements, so you are free.
Before we go, who's going to be Toastmasters next week?
Oh yeah,
Who's
that's
stepping
good.
in? Who's stepping in?
While we all
Belinda.
ponder, one thing I will share is that if we are ready to go live, whenever we do have the announcements, I will share the address in the chat so you guys can save that when it's time to meet back.
Can I nominate someone for Toastmaster of the Day?
Please do.
Right ahead.
How many people? And first, it has to be from this little child. Mayana, can you unmute yourself, please?
Yes.
You were nominated to be the Toastmaster of the Day next week. What would your little girl behave right now? How would she show us her enthusiasm? Oh. Oh. So is that, can we support you and make you feel better so that you'll want to do it?
I will do it, but I was giving my second speech next week.
Oh, well then.
I'm already signed up.
Okay, so you get to say yes to you. Yay! Woohoo! No more people pleasing. All right, so who could that next person be the nomination of? How about you, Ray? Have you been the table topic, the Toastmaster of the Day recently?
Yeah.
Where's Ray?
Here he comes. I see his head.
Oh, there he is. Look at that little child. Little boy tonight.
I did actually do it once. I did it once so far.
Are you open to the opportunity to be the Toastmaster of the Day for the next 2 weeks?
I was actually going to try next week to sign up for speech.
But you didn't sign up for a speech, right?
I have not yet, but I have actually. I was going to try, I keep looking back and forth. But
We nominate Ray. We nominate Ray. We nominate Ray. We nominate Ray.
Ray.
Next week.
We vote for Ray.
For you.
Wait, you accept the nomination?
I will accept it for next week.
Okay.
Yay.
Excited. So Ray is the Toastmaster of the Day. And what does this mean for all of these little kids in the room, Ray? What do they get to do? What do we get to do to support you? Tell us.
You get to see me live here.
Yes, but what could we do to support you to make your job easier?
Guys can go and sign up for the roles after this meeting.
Okay. Is everybody aligned to sign up after the meeting to take 2 extra minutes and log into your back office and sign up for next week?
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody not aligned? Yay, Ray, you did it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. You've got 11 of us that have made you a promise, okay? Or 12. There's a couple guys over there in your room. All right. We'll see y'all next week. Bye for now.
Thank you. Bye. Shay, are we meeting?
Yeah, just really quickly.
Okay.
Did you stop the recording?
Yeah, did I stop it? Is it stopped? Oh, let me stop it.